I don't want to sound like a motivational speaker, and I don't want to sound like I'm talking about positivity or any of that. I'm just kind of giving an idea of how I deal with preventing burnout. My definition of burnout, I guess, would be more that you get so beyond overwhelmed that you don't even want to get out of bed, and you get so frustrated. You think to yourself, I'd rather just be somewhere else entirely, not even thinking about this. To me, that's a very extreme thing. So to me, burnout is that. Now, there have been a couple of times where I felt that way, but not for very long periods of time. To me, burnout is something that happens maybe if my purpose is not aligned. Yes, there are times where I don't want to fucking do what I need to do. Okay, I know I have that, and most of us probably have that as well. But I've heard of people that straight up just quit. They just toss their hands up and they go, I am done with this shit. I'm going to go do something else. And they just keep skipping. They go from industry to industry. That to me is a little bit of it's just a waste of time. You're wasting all of your time to go to where the grass is greener, to go to, try something else that maybe might fulfill you. The problem with that attitude is you don't actually find fulfillment. You're just giving yourself a dopamine rush whenever you go into something else. You do it, you get excited, but then inevitably you're going to get tired. That dopamine spike that you get constantly by doing that new activity is eventually going to go away, and it will become familiar. And once it becomes familiar, then you're going to be back with your thoughts. And then you're going to be thinking, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm getting burnt out. I want to do something else. I don't want to do that. Yes, I get tired, and sometimes I do get very frustrated. And I think to myself, God, all this shit I have to do. And as a matter of fact, I felt that way quite a bit, probably for the past 3 months. And I'm not going to lie, I do sometimes let my inner bitch, my inner wuss kind of win. But every time it happens, I feel awful. I just feel like I'm not the person that I should be. I'm not the husband and the father that I should be. So I just snap myself out of it, and I at least keep moving forward. I think to myself, as far as dog training is, in the beginning, it was exciting. Like everything else, you jump into a new career. You struggle, you're learning, and every time you're learning, the learning process gets you excited, because as you're learning, you see progress, and as you see progress, you get more of that, more of that dopamine rush, because you're seeing things are changing in front of you. You see your skill get better, and you progress at a very fast pace for the first few years, because you're going from no skill, no experience, to learning how to do this in a very nice, decent, professional manner. But then once you get past that, that's when responsibilities become more apparent. That's when the excitement and the rush of that rapid learning kind of goes away. And that's when your passion, that's when your excitement has to turn into responsibility. And responsibility does involve discipline, and discipline does involve you doing things that you don't want to do. I understand why it happens. I don't understand why it happens so much. I hear of dog trainers that get burnt out and then they quit. They just throw their hands up and they just completely just go do something else. And I think it's a matter of assessing your personality, assessing what's happening, being aware of what is actually happening, and then taking the responsibility to do what you need to do. Now, if you are truly unhappy and it doesn't fulfill you, and you've evaluated all of your behaviors, you've looked at your behavior patterns, so you go, no, this 100% does not fulfill me, then I can see moving on to something else. But as an adult, you do have to sometimes bite the bullet a little bit and go, it has to get done anyway.